Hey, good evening, everybody. This is Android Coliseum. It's episode 112, and I'm Martin. So we'll start with the introduction from my left here. We're going to be having Sylvain,
Hello.
Siobhan,
Nothing special here.
Cass,
Hey,
and Ryan.
Bonjour.
So we'll dive right into the topic that we have. We're going to start with the first one, which is the HTC Vive. It will be made available to Canadian developers to develop that VR environment similar to what we've been seeing with the Oculus Rift and other releases. So this is looking forward, maybe promising. Maybe we'll see the device in Canada. What do you guys think?
I think it's new.
I
think new.
I get motion sick looking at that stuff, so I'm pretty sure. Like, I can't even watch somebody play a video game, so I'm pretty sure this isn't going to be for me.
What about you, Sylvain?
Sylvain is currently looking for the chat, and I was not listening. Sorry.
Oh,
Caught you off guard. Awesome.
Boom.
All right, so yeah, the Oculus Rift is basically a gaming platform, virtual reality, and it's going to be co-sponsored to develop with Valve Software, which is basically the makers of Steam. So probably going to be getting some great classics on that and some new titles, and hopefully something good's going to come out of it. It's definitely going to appeal to gamers. So we'll move on to the next one that we got on the list, and Cass, that one's yours.
yes, the Urbane. I think I said a while ago when it first came out that this was one that was really attractive to me, this form factor. And then it took a long time, and I ended up getting a Moto 360, and then of course it came out. So still a super attractive form factor. Apparently, it's a little heavier, and the screen is a little smaller. But other than that, you would really go for this if you want that round style, I think.
So how much smaller is it compared to the 360?
Well, I think it's small enough that it doesn't have the spare tire. So if you go from the edge to the top of the spare tire, that's probably the diameter.
Oh, that's not too bad then.
No, not really.
3 inches. I'm just going to bring up the page. Remember, we have it at databases.androidcoliseum.com.
I was looking at some of the models that they had, and it was looking pretty slick.
It's 1.3 inches round, and it's 320 by 320.
So versus the Moto 360, it's 1.56 inches round.
Yeah.
So it's just slightly smaller.
So that diameter is just gonna. No.
They're more and more looking like conventional watch.
Oh yeah.
You look at this, I couldn't tell it's a smartwatch at all.
Yeah, and I think some people were talking about it on your thread, Siobhan, and saying whether they like the idea of a round or a square watch.
Right.
And I'm thinking this is almost so classic that it'd be hard to do different watch faces on it because it would look odd. Does that make sense to you guys? Like, it would just be so unexpected that you'd have something funky on it because it looks like a classic watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, to have some sort of funky widget or whatever would look really out of place. I like the look of it. I mean, it looks pretty sleek, but the price I think is a big factor. I mean, it's $399.
Yeah.
It's $400. It's the biggest advantage. It's got Wi-Fi, right? Whereas we're finding out almost some of them do already. But I mean, I don't know. $399 is probably the very, very, very top end of what I would ever pay for a watch in general. Like, bring it down to like $250 definitely is an insta buy. That's really sort of a think about it kind of purchase.
True.
I think if the processor was a step up too, that would make a big difference. But as far as I can tell, there's not really much difference between the three LG watches for this generation. So it really is a cosmetic thing.
Yeah, just like the style and the look of it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
I still don't understand why they need to be so expensive when it's just an accessory. It's not a full functioning device.
I agree.
I mean, I paid $199 US for the Zen watch. I love it, but if I paid much more, I don't know I think with the functionality of Android Wear today, I don't think it's worth all that money. I mean, it's just an extra accessory that you have and enjoy, and it's fun. But to pay more than some phones just doesn't make sense.
The problem with that is because people are willing to pay, they'll go for it.
Right. Or you wait until the price goes down.
That's true.
Yeah, like the 360. All I've done since I bought it is go back to Best Buy and get price matches. So I'm pretty pumped.
All right, let's move on. We've got another one that's on the list. It was an event this week for LG, and Ryan, take this one away.
Oh, good gracious, this is awesome. I mean, a lot of people are going to look at the device in terms of specs alone and say, well, they really didn't change the screen. The screen is still 20, quad HD. It's still 5.5 inch. It's still 3 gigs RAM. It's still 32. It's only a hexa-core device versus now everything's going octa-core. So I mean, a lot of people might go, the specs aren't as fancy enough for me. But what I think was really awesome with this event was LG really hyped up, and again, they talked about three major things. First off was, I have it on my notes here. What was it here? Comfortable elegance, right? So the idea of using and holding the phone was very important. They talked about the leather back or the slight curve. Very interesting to talk about how that slight curve actually provided more durability for when they're expecting to drop it, as they kind of mentioned that. That was kind of neat. So there was that, and then they talked about what was it? They called it better visual display or better visual experience. So a better camera. So not talking about like, okay, 60 megapixels is not that super wow because we have other ones that are more or whatever. But they talked about it being better camera, the f1.8. They talked about a better screen, that the Quad HD screen is now 20% more brighter, 50% more contrast, and all these things. The sensor was bigger. We mentioned on the thing. The color spectrum sensor to understand and get better white balance and understanding of what you're taking a photo of. So again, it really made more sense to talk about how these things are going to be better and better functioning versus better specs. And the last one was the human-centric UX, which basically means that smarter notifications. And I'm not as big a fan of that, as I didn't really take much advantage. But again, I looked at a lot of the what they added this year, and it really talked about not so much getting better specs just to get better specs and show that it looked like better than last year and it's better than current. However, they did really poke a lot of fun at Samsung and iOS. They really poked a lot of fun at, they showed off samples with the S6 and now the iPhone 6 and stuff like. But I really talked about it being a better use of what they have. How they didn't just put a bigger megapixel, they used better megapixels. They didn't just put a bigger, higher resolution display. They made a better resolution display. That was really cool when they talked about how they really changed the LCD so that the way that they polarize the light allows 20% more brightness through. I mean, just little things like that. To me, as a tech guy, a bit of a nerd, that was awesome to me. So I'm just now eagerly waiting to see what the price point on this is. I'm hoping not to see a huge jump, but I think it will be really cool to see that. So
Siobhan, you had a comment?
It's interesting to see that companies starting to focus on camera mostly. If in the past it was more, if you remember a few years ago, it was the big trend of social. So Samsung had their social hub, all the OEMs pushed social on you and all that stuff. And now I find that it's a trend.
Video store.
Yeah, and now they all have a great camera, and like Oppo focuses on their camera mainly with their new phones. And LG, when even in their product video on YouTube, it's mostly the camera. So they really want to sell you on the camera. My friend showed me her G3, and I was surprised to see all the great camera features that I have on my Oppo on the LG. and it works really well as well. So I think it's a great trend. I was traveling lately. I took my Oppo N3 and I barely used my regular camera. So if you do have a great camera on your phone, it makes your life so much easier.
Cass?
I just have to agree with Saban about like taking cameras. Like I actually end up taking a lot of pictures with my tablet and with my phone. The camera that we have, we use for underwater. So, I think that it's just becoming so important that flagships have a good camera.
It's about time.
Yeah. Although Samsung's has always been, I found, decent, except for the Galaxy S. That was brutal.
All right, Carmen. You had a comment, Ryan?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I mean, yeah. So Samsung's known for their camera, and they've been really doing that really well. The S6 I was trying, I've got to say I really like the camera. I didn't really have much chance to play with it too much before I had to send it back. But I mean, yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, when was the last time any of you guys used a camera other than your phone?
I mean, I use it when I need zoom. We went to see birds, so I need the zoom, But for landscape, my phone took much better pictures than my regular camera.
Yeah.
And what I love, I mean, for me, if I want to use my camera, I get this guy out. And before that, I used to have my SLR. So I mean, I love being able to adjust. That's why I want that camera for, because I want to be able to play around and then set the shutter speed the way I want to. And the way that the new camera app is here, I can do that, which is really going to be really cool. So yeah. Anyways, great phone. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens. Hopefully, I'm one of those 4,000 people that gets an early copy and you can play with it.
That'd
You
be
guys,
nice.
I can tell you all about it.
All right. And next that we have is Google Now, just throwing in 70 new cards that you can have through Google Now, which will actually give you more information for what you need, such as price drop on stuff you may be looking for, cheaper gas prices around the corner. There was some sales that were advertised. I mean, Google Now is bringing a lot of information to your device via their app, and this is looking promising because they'll be opening to even more third-party applications to actually include more information. And yes, Siobhan, to answer your question, it's been live in Canada for a few months actually before they actually announced it.
Great.
So how many people between us use Google Now every day?
Every day.
I can't
I
use
do.
it.
Yeah. There's no way I can use it. I'm on prepaid anyway, and I pay for my data.
Yeah.
So I never keep my phone synced during the day anyway, unless I'm on Wi-Fi.
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
I have
Yeah,
6
me too.
gigs, so I don't care. Use
I
it,
Just
stream
throw
music
the
in
gigs out there.
car.
No problem.
Yeah, I'll just
Uh,
use that.
My Google app has used only 20 megs per past month.
No, if I could use
Wow.
Google Now normally like a lot of other people, I probably would try it, but it's giving me so many issues it's not even funny. But I've seen Google Now work for people, and they've been getting a lot of information. They get these little pop-ups on a regular basis about, oh, there's having a sale here, or you've got a sale at this store right now. If you go buy it now because you've made a search for it, you'll get some elements from your search, and it's actually pretty good if it works properly. So next on our list, we have Siobhan that's going to be talking about the Oppo R7.
Yes, so this week Oppo started teasing us with some images of the Oppo R7. It's surprising that it's already coming out because the R5 just came out in the summer. But for now, we don't know much about the device. It's only rumors. What we know for sure is that it won't have a bezel. It will be a bezel-less screen, glass screen, 2.5D. Which is not exactly 3D, but it's 2.5D.
It's not quite in the third dimension.
Yeah. There's actually a very big explanation on Wikipedia if you are interested in 2.5D. It's apparently more complicated than it sounds. But it looks beautiful from the image they did put, and I'm curious to see what the actual dimensions of because some rumors say 5.5 inch, some rumors say 4.7, and the size of the screen will also dictate how big the battery can be. So people are worried because the DR5 was very thin. The R7 will also be very, very thin. So there's no much room for the battery. So the size of it will really dictate how big the battery will be. So I'm curious to hear more about the camera. There's a rumor it will be 20 pixels, megapixels.
Don't believe it.
Yeah, but like we said, the megapixel doesn't mean it's a good camera. So, but Oppo is known for a good camera app, good features. So it must be a good camera. And from what it looks very similar to the iPhone, actually, the design, with an actual home button. But we don't know much. It's all rumors for now, but keep an eye on their social media for more details because they keep teasing with more and more images and more information. So keep an eye. It will probably be launched next month. I think they're going to have a big event in China. They invited a few people from the press, and we'll know more next month.
Are you getting it?
If I'm getting it?
Yeah.
It's
Maybe.
we love Savant.
Maybe. You know what? I don't even know if I want it because I love my N3.
Okay.
So I'm waiting to hear more about the specs to decide if I would love that phone. But if the specs are good, maybe I'll get it. Yes.
Got a comment?
How do you get them? Yeah, I'm
You
just
order
wondering.
it from OppoStyle.com. They actually opened
okay.
a new page for North America, so they're not really getting here, but they opened a page on OppoStyle.com for US and Canada, and for devices it's free shipping, so it's very easy to order, and you get 2 years of warranty, and it's very simple. They actually have a sale now on the Find 7, a very good sale and some free accessories. So keep an eye on the website for more sales when more phones come out.
Cool. All right. So next one we got is the new Chrome Dev app, and Ryan, that's one of yours.
Yeah, so I mean, for those of you who you play around with Chrome, I mean, Chrome comes in 3 flavors on your desktop: Chrome, Chrome Beta, Chrome Dev, and there's actually a 4th called the Canary version, which is sort of the unstable nightly build, I guess you can call it. What I always like running on Dev because it like gets all the newest features right away. Just play around it, and I don't really notice any crashing or whatever. So basically, and if you know, a while ago, Chrome came out on Android. We also have a Chrome Beta app. And we now have a Chrome Dev app, which is really great. I mean, again, try all the new cool features of Chrome on your phone. I mean, we know recently one of the new features they integrated into standard Chrome is the push notifications on web pages you can do in Chrome. But again, Dev gives you a chance to try even the latest and greatest features. The only thing I don't like is, why does it have to be a separate app? Why couldn't I have a beta or a Dev and not have to have 3 different apps, or have Chrome, Chrome Beta, Chrome Dev on my phone? I then have to have 3 different apps. If I'm running a smaller device that has less space, I have I have to pick if I want one. So anyway, that's my only pick is that. I mean, it's cool if you can get it, but whatever.
I don't know. Maybe look at the size. It's already 30 meg something.
Yeah. So if you have
multiply
Chrome
by 3.
multiply by 3, that's like almost it's 100 megs just in that. Plus, if you use one and then use another, then you have different caches and different data storage. And so I would prefer if they could just, kind of like you do with beta apps already, where you can just opt into the beta stream, and it gives you the updates early. Or like on your PC, where you can just choose which channel do you want to be tuned into, right? So.
Which makes sense.
Right.
Okay. Next that we have on our list is a keyboard coming out of SwiftKey, a new one. And Ryan, that's something you showed me this week.
Yeah, so the new Clarity keyboard came out. I mean, they have I can't remember what they call it, green light or some sort of special beta channel that SwiftKey's developed. Their idea is they're gonna have a bunch of different beta apps, so not just keyboards, but a bunch of different kinds. The first one that came out is they're called Clarity keyboard. So you can take a look at, join their beta group, and then you can get the app as well. And they want you to test it out. And it crashes a fair bit for me. I mean, it keeps getting updated because it's brand new. It's really nice. It looks sleek. It's very simple to use, but it doesn't have swiping. That's kind of annoying. And if I want to do numbers, I have to hit the number button and go to the number thing. Or if I want a question mark, I have to go to the alternate key. Like, so a lot of little things you take for granted. I feel like I'm on iOS again, that I have to, I'm going back and forth. Like, God forbid you have to enter one of those passwords that has like letters and numbers. It would just take forever. So it's cool, but again, I'm just so used to the other ones that maybe they can integrate it eventually. We'll see. But it's out there. You want to try it out?
That was good because I've installed it too, and I'm running on it now. At the course of the last 2 days, it got like at least 7 updates to itself. So I've gotten 7 updates of the keyboard so far.
And that's beta. And you expect to have updates for beta. That's fine.
Funny thing,
I like it pretty good for correction. Like, it's absolutely, like, you can start just typing and it corrects a lot of mistakes.
Yeah, exactly. It's been working fine so far, and even a beta application, it was crashing constantly for me on the 3rd update, and on the 4th one, crashes are gone. And I'm like, okay, they might have figured out what was going on, and they fixed it, so it's pretty cool. So we're going to move on to one of our next article, which is the announcement of the winners for the contest. So if you remember, last week we were running the HTC One M9 from Rogers, and a prize pack provided to us by HTC. So the first winner we got for the HTC One M9 is Sean Ryu. So Sean, we'll be contacting you shortly to get your information, and we'll mail that to you as soon as we can. And the second prize winner for the HTC Care Pack is James. Fortunately, I don't have a last name. We only have his Twitter handle. And his Twitter handle is Jam with a Z 133. So James, we'll be contacting you as well shortly, and we'll be sending that your way.
So for those of you who didn't win, should we give them like a 24-hour time frame if they don't contact us back within 24 hours? We'll repick or something.
You know what? We should mention it. 24 hours. You got 24 hours to get back to us, and then we'll redraw.
Right, so 24 hours when you send them notification. We haven't contacted them yet to let them know they've won, so...
Exactly.
A little bit late.
Congrats.
Exactly. So we'll be posting it, we'll be sending them out, and we'll let them know, and we'll give them 24 hours to get back to us.
Gotcha. I just want to say, Martin, well done on getting the device. I don't know if anybody else has ever tried to do a giveaway before. And it's absolutely like pulling teeth sometimes to get free devices to give away. So he's done a great job being able to get this. And really, guys, I mean, for those of you guys who are watching online and watching it later, I really appreciate you guys tuning in and sharing and posting. And I really wish we could give everybody a free phone. That'd be awesome. But I mean, the more we can get out there and get people to put our name out there and help us promote, the more likely we're going to get more devices to give away, more things to give away. It just really helps in the end. So again, I really want to really appreciate and thank everybody who did enter the giveaway. Don't lose hope. We might have some things down the road. I'm really going to be working really hard with our OEMs to talk about what we can do to get more people giving away. So yeah,
Exactly.
so we can do, guys.
So hopefully we'll get more stuff, and more OEMs and more carriers will partner with us. And hopefully we'll get some stuff out for you guys. And Siobhan, you had a comment.
No, just to say thank you again for all the silly selfies. We shared some of them. We'll share some more so you can see. And try again next time.
All right. And moving one topic that we have, Ryan.
Yeah, I just want to, last little topic. I know Rob and I have been having a fair bit of chat about this. And I've actually had a couple other people mention in other comments and over the past 2.5 years we've been doing this. In terms of how we do the comments on the blog. Originally, when we started on Blogger, it was the comments in Blogger, and then it eventually upgraded to allow us to do comments within Google+, which I really like how the comment system works with Google+, and we get a lot of traction on Google+. However, the thought is, are we missing out on getting comments and interaction from people who are not on Google Plus? So I'm really looking at changing the website up to using Discuss or Discuss. I don't know how you pronounce it. I'm sure it's Discuss, I think, probably.
Discuss.
Yeah, so just kind of thoughts out there. If you guys are, checking our website and you're commenting, let us know what you think. Should we change that? Talk to your friends, ask them what they think about it. I'd really like to get. I always say this, just try something, and if it screws up, just because I have to move things back, whatever. But again, thoughts about ways we can make sure we're engaging everybody that comes to the website. I really want to pride ourselves on that. We really are real people. We really do want to have conversations. So I want to make sure that opportunity is available for everybody. So.
Well, Ryan, commenting from the browser on the website, on the blog, never worked for me. It doesn't authenticate my profile, and I can't comment on it ever. So if we can go discuss, absolutely.
Okay.
And I'm sure I'm not the only one. I don't know why, but it's just like the chat. I don't have access to it from the website.
Something wrong with your Chrome. I don't know. But no, again, I really want to make sure that anybody who does want to have a conversation with us, who does want to talk to us, that we're not missing anything out. That's why I even have the email thing working on the website. It means I got a fair bit more spam here and there, but I mean those people who do have questions, we can answer them when we can. So again, you guys always like. I always say, I say this probably every show, and I'll probably say it till we decide to eventually end the show. Android is a conversation, a group, and groups really thrive on conversation. And we really like to have this conversation. I mean, nobody's here to make it rich or to do whatever. We're here to maybe be part of the group and part of the community that we do. So, anyways, that's my little rant for the end of the day. So I'll turn it back over to Martin. He's muted. You take off the mute, Martin. Take off the mute.
I was on mute. I was typing. So yep. So this is the end of the show for tonight, folks, and this was Hangout number 112. And hopefully everybody's gonna have a good night. Signing off.
Thank you, Martin.
Ciao.
Cass, Siobhan,
Thanks, Martin.
and
Thank
Ryan.
you.
Yes, thanks everybody for tuning in. Thank you guys for being part of the show. Appreciate it a lot.
I'll be getting in contact with the winners shortly, and you have 24 hours to get back to us. All right, cheers.
See ya.